Welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to configuring and verifying varieties of STP. By default, all Cisco switches use STP without any configuration by the network administrator, or STP is the mode enabled on every port of a switch. It prevents layer 2 loops in a network. This is the topology that I will use. In this topology, there are three switches, switch 1, switch 2, and switch 3. Right now, the switch 1 is the root bridge because it has the lowest bridge ID. See, the priorities are the same, and the MAC address of switch 1 is the lowest. For that reason, the switch 1 is the root switch. Before you configure STP, it is important to know the current default settings. And enable mode show spanning tree displays STP information a little detail. See, spanning tree enabled protocol IEEE information about root bridge, which is switch 1. The priority is 32,768, which is the default priority. This bridge is the root bridge. Hello time 2 seconds, max edge time 20 seconds, forward delay 15 seconds. Bridge ID information, priority, MAC address, hello time, and also aging time. The root ID and the bridge ID for switch 1 is the same because this switch is the root switch. And also interface type Ethernet, it means 10 MB per second. Interface role designated, interface state forwarding, interface cost 100, and port priority 128. And these are the default configuration of STP in a Cisco switch. In a previous video, I explained the difference between classic STP and rapid spanning tree and how rapid spanning tree works. If you don't know about it, I would recommend to look at it first before you diving in the configuration. Let's look at the configuration. As I said, switch 1 will be the root bridge in my example. First, which mode of STP you want to use. You can change the mode of STP with this command. And switch 1, configure terminal spanning tree mode ? See, there are 3 spanning tree modes: multiple spanning tree, per VLAN spanning tree, and per VLAN rapid spanning tree mode. I want to enable per VLAN spanning tree. Also, we should do it for switch 1 and switch 2. Okay, next, in this topology, I want switch 1 is the root bridge and switch 2 is the backup root bridge. To change the bridge ID, use one of these commands. Show spanning tree, see the priority is the default, and in global config mode, spanning tree VLAN, vlan-id, root, primary. Now show spanning tree. See, the primary keyword automatically set the priority to 24,576. Still, this bridge is the root because the lowest priority. And also go to switch 2, show spanning tree, see the default priority. And in global config mode, spanning tree VLAN, vlan-id, root, secondary, show spanning tree. See, the secondary keyword automatically set the priority to 28,672. See, the root bridge is switch 1 assuming that the rest of the network is set to the default priority of 32,768. For example, in switch 3, show spanning tree is the default priority this number, 32,768. Also, you can change the bridge ID, configure the priority value in increments of 4096 between 0 and 65,536 manually. And switch 1, show spanning tree. See the priority. I want to change this priority, and switch 1 will not be the root bridge, and switch 2 will become the root bridge. In global config mode, spanning tree vlan-id priority, for example 4040. See lower number in 4096 not allowed. Bridge priority must be in increments of 4096. Again, spanning tree vlan-id priority, for example, choose the number 40960. Now, the switch 1 is not the root bridge because the lowest bridge ID right now is switch 2. Let's see. Show spanning tree and switch 1. This bridge is not the root bridge. See the changes. And switch 2. Show spanning tree. This bridge is the root bridge. You can easily change the root switch by changing the priority. To change the interface cost, go to the interface mode. For example, I want to change the switch to Ethernet 0/2 interface cost. And switch 2, show spanning tree. See the default cost of interface is 100, and I want to change this number, and switch to global config mode and go to the interface mode, fast Ethernet 0/2, spanning tree vlan-id cost, for example 200, enter, and enable mode, show spanning tree. See the interface cost is changed. Okay, next, how to configure PortFast and BpduGaurd. To speed convergence for access ports when they become active, you can use Cisco's proprietary PortFast technology. After PortFast is configured and a port is activated, the port immediately transitions from the blocking state to the forwarding state. In a PortFast configuration, BPDU should never be received because when PortFast is enabled, BpduGaurd puts the port in an error disabled. This effectively shuts down the port. The BpduGaurd feature provides a secure response to invalid configurations because you must manually put the interface back into service. For example, in this topology, we should enable PortFast on switch 2 and switch 3. Go to an interface and enable the PortFast and also BpduGaurd. In switch 2, show spanning tree. See, there is no edge port or not enabled PortFast. Configure terminal. Go to interface mode, interface Ethernet 0/3. Switch port mode access, spanning tree PortFast, and also spanning tree BPDUGaurd enable. In enable mode, show spanning tree. See, this port is an edge port and PortFast on this port is enabled. Also BPDUGaurd is enabled on this port. For troubleshooting of STP, several commands enable you to verify the state of the current STP implementation. For example, show spanning tree displays STP information, and show spanning tree active displays STP information for active interfaces only, and show spanning tree breach displays abbreviated information for all STP instances, and show spanning tree detail displays detailed information for all STP instances. Show spanning tree interface ID displays STP information for the specified interface, and show spanning tree vlan-id displays STP information for the specified VLAN, and show spanning tree summary displays a summary of STP port states. I hope this information is useful to you, and I want to thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please subscribe my channel.